Hello, this is Lee Anthony Davis here once again with another video announcement for my YouTube channel. A warm welcome. Today is Thursday the 19th of October. A warm welcome to everyone that's joining me here on my live recorded video here. Right, okay then, this video I usually announce such as Group of the Day, Contributor of the Day on Facebook. There's birthday announcements, not forgetting some Doctor Who news, updates, my Hammer Horror DVD collection selection, and of course there's a Doctor Who quiz question and the answer to yesterday's quiz question. Also your comments, and of course what's coming up. Right, okay then, let's get on with this. And also I'm on a mission here with my video because I'm trying to beat my time. Yesterday I did this video announcement in 13 minutes and 21 seconds, so I hope to beat that one today. So here we go. Right, starting off with Group of the Day for Wednesday the 18th of October, and my choice is the Sarah Jane Adventures Group. Contributor of the Day goes to Philip Cregan. Philip Cregan is Contributor of the Day for Wednesday the 18th of October. That will go up on Facebook, Instagram, My Story and Twitter. Right, moving on to birthday announcements. Today celebrating their birthdays are Joanne Rippey, Alexandra Ferreira, Charles Shaw, John Carl Mann and Ray Mondo Curry, who is one of my members on my group on Facebook. So I'll be giving him a video announcement later on Facebook. So anyway, wish them all well, and moving on to some Doctor Who news. Right, this concerns what's going on air on November the 1st. There's a BBC4 documentary to be aired called Talking Doctor Who. This is a documentary with David Tennant narrating, and he'll be looking back at, this is obviously part of the 60th anniversary, he'll be looking back at the classic era from 1963 to probably 1989. This airs on BBC4 at 7:30 Wednesday the 1st of November, so make a date in your calendars for that. Also, Christopher Eccleston, obviously away from Doctor Who, but he's going to be appearing in A Christmas Carol as Ebenezer Scrooge, and that will go and starting from Saturday the 11th of November at London's Old Vic Theatre. I know it well, I've been, and that's what he'll be doing from that period onwards up until obviously the Christmas season as well. So go and see him. If you enjoyed him as Doctor Who, you'll certainly enjoy him as that. I've seen him in many parts and he's brilliant. He plays policemen, he plays criminals. I mean, remember that 60 Seconds and Gone? He was brilliant in that. And he was also brilliant in, what was it called? Our Friend Up North, I think it was called. A drama, a gritty drama on BBC Two, I think it was in the 1997 period, I think. And it had obviously Daniel Craig, who was going to be future James Bond. It was a brilliant adaptation of a gritty drama of life in the North at that period. So anyway, great stuff. Don't forget to see Christopher Eccleston doing his performance as Ebenezer Scrooge on that date. Right, moving on now. This is it, updates. My updates on my Facebook groups and pages as follows. My Lee Anthony Davis, the Doctor Who, sorry, I've already done that. They've already reached their targets. Sorry, it's my new ones, sorry. Here we go. The Lee Anthony Davis, the Sarah Jane Adventures page has now got 39 followers. The Lee Anthony Davis, the Sarah Jane Adventures group has now 30 members. Yesterday I had 29, now I've got 30. So thank you very much for following me and joining my group. I really appreciate that. If you want to join the group, it's on Facebook right now. It's got Lee Anthony Davis on it, so you'll know which group it is. Right, okay then, moving on. Oh yeah, Instagram account. There's no point in telling you about that. That is still where it was, 112, I think it is. Last time I counted, or 113. But if there's any move on it, I'll let you know. Right, moving on to my Hammer Horror DVD collection selection. This is where I look at Frankenstein. Yesterday it was Dracula. Today it's Frankenstein. And the very first Hammer Horror film was The Curse of Frankenstein, featuring Peter Cushing, the legendary Peter Cushing, and Christopher Lee playing the monster. It's a great story. I think it's one of the best adaptations of was it Bram Stoker? No, that's Dracula. Mary Shelley, Frankenstein. So you can confuse the issue, but Mary Shelley's version is pretty good for Hammer Horror, because Hammer Horror were also doing the copy. They had to be careful because Universal, remember, had done Frankenstein, and they had to alter some alterations had to be made to Frankenstein's head. You know, in the original, his head was square, wasn't it? So they had to make him more, well, sort of human-like, really, didn't they? So he looked like, but with a few scars on his face. There he is, Christopher Lee. Great performance as the monster. He didn't have, well, he went, he didn't have many lines to say, did he? But he was very good. Peter Cushing was brilliant as the Victor Frankenstein. And there was a young Mervyn Hayes. Remember Mervyn Hayes? He played the young boy, young Frankenstein in this. But he's remembered for It Ain't Half Hot Mum. You remember him, the sort of campish... Bombardier, no, Gunner, I can't remember his character's name, but I've got the DVD there. It's hilarious. Windsor Davis as the Sergeant Major is always giving him hell. That's Don Estelle, the small one. The other one, Gunner Bomber, I can't remember, but it was great anyway. He was in this as well. There's quite a few people that you know from Hammer Horror have started off in these, and they're very good. So this is a very good start to the Frankenstein franchise of Hammer Horror. The next one was Revenge of Frankenstein. This is where Peter Cushing returns as Victor Frankenstein. At the end of that one, he was executed, wasn't he? Apparently somebody else was executed in his place. He got switched, and he returns. This one has Francis Matthews in. Francis Matthews has appeared in Dracula, Prince of Darkness. He also was in Rasputin, in The Mad Monk. So he's been in quite a few of them, and he's his assistant in this one. I'm not too sure who the female lead is in this one. Not a famous one, obviously. I don't think, no, she isn't. So you won't recognise her, but I suppose you'll recognise a photo. Right, but it was a good sort of sequel, but not my sort of... It was in the same lines as he's trying to create a monster, and eventually what's his name? Michael something. He plays the monster in this one, but I prefer the Christopher Lee version. I'm trying to think of his name. He's a famous actor as well, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is taking me on to this one. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. This had Freddie... oh, I'm bad with names here. Let me just see if I can see if his name's here. Freddie Jones. He also was in quite a few Amicus productions. That's the sort of rival to Hammer Horror at that time. He played the monster, but this time it wasn't such a monster. He was already... What they did was Frankenstein altered his sort of brain a bit. He did an operation on him, and it all went wrong, and he turned into this sort of psychopath. He was a professor or something to begin with, and he was condemned for a murder or something, I don't know. But anyway, he went insane or something, and Frankenstein got him out of there, and then started experimenting on him, obviously. In this one, we got Veronica Carlson. Remember Veronica Carlson, the blonde bombshell who appeared in all those Dracula films as well? She's in this one. Simon... no, I'm not very good with names at the moment. What's his name? Simon something. Simon Ward. He's in this one as well. And now this one particular one is basically a little bit cringy because Peter Cushing actually rapes. I know. But even Cushing didn't like this scene. He's not that kind of a person. But he had to do this rape scene with Veronica Carlson in this, you know. Anyway, this one was more of a sort of... I don't know. It wasn't very good. It had David Prowse, you know, the Green Cross Code Man, you know, the adverts in the 70s. He was playing the monster. It had Kate Amara, obviously. It had Ralph Bates. So it had a good star cast in this, but it wasn't as good because in the end the monster, Ralph Bates protecting his monster, this child at the end of it was mucking about with his machinery because the monster had obviously killed, and the police were looking for this thing and they needed to put the two and two together, and this kid was mucking about with his machine, and you can see Ralph looking round saying get away, and he didn't. He pulled the bloody chain and the monster was drenched in acid and dissolved, and that was the end of that. So there was no evidence. There's no body, there's no evidence. And my final one is a Blu-ray. This one is, I haven't seen it, this features Madeline Smith, you know, the queen of Hammer horror in my opinion. She's very good. In this one, it's basically Cushing's final outing as Baron Frankenstein. It's a great cover. As you can see some of the familiar faces on there. It's all right as stories go, but this was at the end of Hammer's period when it started to go wrong, when they were up against the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and many other films like that. But anyway, that's my Hammer horror collection. I'll have a look at, I've got some more to show you on different genres. Right, that's tomorrow. Right, moving on. My Doctor Who quiz question from yesterday was, what was the classic episode that saw the sonic screwdriver destroyed? The answer was The Visitation from the Terreptals. Remember them? He put it on the floor. He says, and the sonic device, put it on the floor. And then he just destroys it with this green gun or something. And that was an end of an era for the sonic screwdriver, but it returned, I can assure you, as a modernised one. But that's where it happened. Peter Davison's The Visitation. Right, now I want to know for this question, how many female companions have travelled in the TARDIS from 1963? That's the question basically for that. Right, moving on to comments. Quite interesting ones here. I'll just go through them very, very quickly before I go off air. This one is from, this is about the animation version I put up last year, or 2-3 years ago, I can't remember. It's about the Wheel in Space. It's an animation version, episode 1, that's on my YouTube channel now. And basically says, would it be nice to do the one with Victoria's departure and Zoe's entrance? These are milestones in Doctor Who. Patrick Troughton certainly had his moments from the get-go, from the start. Thank you for that. Another comment here, moving on quickly. This one's to do with Lost in Space, another video I got up. Smith is last on the job and first on it. How true that is. That's Dr. Smith. And moving on to the final one, I've just got enough time to read this. Well done, Lee. You managed to add updates in your description area, which would have been better than to do a follow-up video like you have already done before. Yes, I know. So I decided to write it down instead of doing a silly video, follow-up video. They're pointless in my opinion when it gets to that point. Right, I'm going to just tell you what's coming up. I've got Lost in Space coming up, excerpt from Doctor Who, a PS2 trailer, and that's me finished. Thank you for watching. See you soon. So we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye for now.